My name is Brian Garvey. I'm the Assistant Director here at Massachusetts Peace Action and also an organizer with the Raytheon Anti-War Campaign. The Raytheon Anti-War Campaign is one of the things that actually brought me into the work. Back in 2018, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, visited the Massachusetts area. He was here to visit MIT and Harvard University, which is just steps from where I'm sitting right now. And it was really that proximity. MBS, as he's known, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, is the architect of the war in Yemen, war that is now in its 8th year, and that the United Nations has called the worst humanitarian crisis on Earth. The Raytheon Anti-War Campaign is unique because it targets the military-industrial complex right here in our own backyard. Raytheon Technologies is one of the largest weapons makers in the world, number 2 by some measures, and it is headquartered, for now, right here in progressive Massachusetts, in Waltham, Massachusetts, just a couple of towns over from where we're sitting here in Cambridge. And this institution has massive political influence in both Democratic and Republican administrations alike. So the philosophy of the Raytheon Anti-War Campaign, which is a coalition including Massachusetts Peace Action, has always been that we need to stand up against the military-industrial complex right here in our own backyard. One of the core demands of the Raytheon Anti-War Campaign has been that Raytheon Technologies should cease sales of weapons, especially offensive weapons, to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as long as the war in Yemen is going on, to make that demand. And that's actually a sizable amount of the revenue. About 5% of the revenue that Raytheon Technologies brings in comes from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which is not surprising when you consider that the United States is the largest exporter of weapons in the world, and the largest importer of weapons in the world is Saudi Arabia. So we always try and make it very clear that we are not against the workers at Raytheon Technologies, many of whom are just people trying to feed their families, to do a good job for an honest paycheck. But one thing that we cannot abide is a company based here in Massachusetts supporting a genocidal war in Yemen. So we would like to see that brain power, that manufacturing competency and ability applied to things that we desperately need in this country, like infrastructure, like green infrastructure, the ability to fight climate change, like producing medical equipment. We saw during the COVID-19 pandemic a shortage of things like ventilators, a lack of things like protective equipment for our frontline healthcare workers. You know, we had nurses and doctors going to work in black plastic bags. And we see that as directly connected. You know, there's far too much investment in this country in weapons, in defense, military defense, than there is in defending us against, actual severe national security threats. Things like global pandemics, for instance, or climate change.